us.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Voice is clown.
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. I think we made it. I think we're all good. Just to let y'all know, welcome to issue 98. We're getting close to 100, and I've got an idea for episode 100, but we'll get to that later. Just be aware that Nate may visually jump in and out here because he's having some iffiness over with his internet, just like that. So just be prepared. Possibly that might happen, but we'll get through it. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna be great. But welcome to issue 98, episode 98 of Two Fat Guys Pool is 2 years strong, guys. We have been here for 2 years. Wow. Not all of it on YouTube. We started off on Twitch, and then we were like, you know what? It's probably smarter to be on YouTube because that's where all our content lives. So let's just bring it over here. So we welcome and are glad that all of you are here, whether you were here in the beginning or if you were here just now. It doesn't matter. We're thankful that you are all here watching us. But let's take care of the business that we always do at the beginning of the episodes, or issues, if you will. And let's talk about our show's sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games. That is our LCS here in the DFW area. Ron is the best, and so is Brent up in Keller. And everybody in the Collected Comics family, Lee, Hayden, Mike, I know I'm missing people, but all of you, Sarah, there's some other. I'm not naming everybody, but we absolutely adore every single one of y'all that is at Collected Comics and Games. But they have a website called brainycomics.com, so we'd love for y'all to go over to brainycomics.com, and there you can get exclusive and variant covers of comics, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys and collectibles, and even trading cards like Pokemon and Magic and MetaZoo and My Hero Academia and like all kinds of cool stuff. So head over to BradyComics.com, maybe buy something. I don't know. But if you decide to buy something, before you check out, just to show Ron and us a little bit more support, type in the search bar Two Fat Guys Pool List, and this will pop up. It is our Two Fat Guys Pool List upgrade and premium upgrades, which for $8, if you buy that, it goes into your cart, and when you get whatever you bought in the mail, there will also be a mystery exclusive comic pool from the Two Fat Guys Pool List upgrade. So if you do that $8 one, you'll get one. If you do the premium for $15, you will get two premium exclusive covers. And you're probably asking, what do those look like? Well, we just showed them at the beginning of the page right here. We got some cool Daredevil #1 store exclusives, some Mandalorian, some Catwoman. Now, to be a little bit more specific, usually what Ron likes to do, like he'll throw in one of these as a random, but sometimes what he'll do also is say like you ordered a bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy comic books or merchandise or whatever, he'll try to put in some exclusive covers that he has that are Guardians related too. So kind of, don't get massive hopes up of like, oh, I'm going to get that Daredevil. Like, there's going to be different things that go in there. If you order Venom, he might throw a Venom in there and, a couple other things. So go on and check it out at brainycomics.com. Search Two Fat Guys Pool List. Put that upgrade in your cart when you're ready to check out. Show some support, if you would like, via brainycomics.com and Collected Comics and Games. Also, one last thing that we have to talk about is our sub giveaway, guys. We're at 696 subscribers, guys. We are moving that needle, and when we hit 750 subscribers, you know what we're giving away: the CGC 9.4 graded Silver Surfer Black issue #1. second printing with Noel on the cover. This thing is a bad boy. And yeah, we're gonna give it away at 750 subscribers. Now, just let me talk about this real quick. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway at 100. At 100. At our 100th episode, right?
Like 100 what?
I'm sorry. 100th episode, which is 2 weeks away, right? So let me know down in the chat. Should we do a giveaway at 100? 100 with the 100th episode? And if we
for free.
Okay, right. If we give away something at 100 at the 100th episode, should we set a sub goal as well?
Ooh.
I think it should be like a 2-tier, right?
Something like that.
Okay, so should we just do 700? I mean, that's a pretty easy goal.
Pretty easy goal.
So if we hit let's say if we hit 700 subscribers by the 100th episode of Two Fat Guys Pull List, we will give away this Hitmonchan. No, I'm kidding. We'll give away something cool. We'll talk to Ron. We'll figure something out, and we will give away something at the 100th episode, and hopefully we hit 100 subscribers. So 100th episode. If we hit 100, if we hit 700 subscribers, we're giving away something cool in 2 weeks. So make sure to share this show out, get it out to people. Let's hit 700 subscribers. Oh, you want to give that away?
I can give away my Black Widow pen.
Oh, okay, that's easy. There you go.
I'm just kidding.
That's a very awkward pen.
Hey, she's training.
Okay. Anyways, so 100th episode in 2 weeks. If we hit 700 subscribers, we will give away something live on the show, like we always do when we hit our sub goals. So let's make it happen, Captain. What a chat. Let's talk. We're back like Terminator. Nice, Tendu. Rich, not sure I'll watch tonight. Might just watch from the collected tomorrow. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Our show in the comic book store now. This week was a D. Tendu, I kind of agree. I was just not that. Maybe not D. Maybe I say C. I'll say flatline C. Just a base metal C for me.
So that's
well, you had better books, so it's gonna be different.
Maybe you should be reading better books.
Anyway, what up, Joe? This week was true representation of Phase 4. It sucked. Hey, whoa. Let's not go that low. I like Phase 4 right now. I'm digging it.
Great.
I love it. Tendu, give it away at 100 with sub goal. I agree. Well, you want sub goal? You want 750? I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we can hit 750 subscribers in 2 weeks.
It'd be nice.
All right, here's the deal. Tendu, you gave me an idea. All right, so if we hit 700 subscribers by the 100th episode, we'll give something away. Something, nice, mid-size, mid-tier. Okay, but if we hit 750 subscribers in the next 2 weeks on our 100th episode, not only will we give away this Silver Surfer Black issue number 1 second printing. Hold on. This is spontaneous as fuck right now.
Oh, he's pulling out something. Pulling something off the wall?
Don't say something that dirty. Oh, you want me to pull something out the wall?
No, I didn't. I'm saying I don't know.
Shit, you want me to pull something out the wall?
I saw what I said. I said I don't know what you're doing.
Should I do the Hulk 340? With Wolverine on the cover?
No, man.
I'm trying.
These guys
I was about to do it, chat. I was about to do it. Alright, fine. I'll just do this. Just because I'm not reading it. If we hit 750 subscribers in 2 weeks, not only will we give away the Silver Surfer Black, I'm going to give away this Something's Killing the Children.
Wow.
Number 1
Why
hardcover. Volume 1, Book 1. I will give this away. I don't think we can do it. That's why I'm going to put it up here. That's how confident I am. We're not going to hit 750 subscribers. If we hit 750 subscribers in the next 2 weeks, I'll give this away. Live.
Okay.
Live, guys. Book 1. It's the first. Isn't this the first printing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't get this. All right, so
Ain't get it.
Challenge has been thrown out. The gauntlet, if you choose to accept, has been thrown. if we hit 750 in 2 weeks, we're giving away not only Silver Surfer Black second printing, but we're giving away book 1 of Something's Killing the Children, first print from Boom Studios. You heard it here. Right? All right. Let's do it, guys. Rick says, didn't hate it. What up, Eric? Runs to make multiple accounts to sub. Let's see here. Quiku, this week was a pretty underwhelming, but upcoming Wednesday looks to be amazing. X-Men Red and Immortal are both coming out as Judgment Day tie-ins, plus more Zdarsky Batman. Yeah, no, next week, our new comic book day video is going to be straight fire for next week. So, yeah, you're right. Totally looking forward to it. Joe, Marvel pick of the week was Spider-Man. DC pick of the week is Robin. Indie pick of the week is Public Domain. I'll give this week a B+. Stefan would love us to throw in the Hitmonchan. Stefan, if you win, if we hit 750 subscribers and you end up winning it, I will throw in that Hitmonchan for you. Tendu, at 750, you should do a call-in show or guest. Whoa. Dude, no, you know what? We're going to do a call-in guest show at 1,000. At 1,000 subscribers. And we will set up a Discord. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. All right, let's get this party started, right? Should we? Just get it started?
Yeah, let's talk about
the comics. Less about giveaways because you're getting pissed that I'm giving away so much.
Just giving away your own shit, but I don't understand why.
Well, because I'm doing it for the people, yo. Like, these guys support us. We got to show them some love, you know? And I was like, oh, I'm going to give away this D20. Like, do you want that? Like, no, that's dumb.
I mean, I was looking, but shit.
Well, then you throw in something. Shit. All right, let's do this. Our first book of the night is not an X book because there were no X books this week, and it is The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 6, Legacy 900, $10 book.
What coverage did you end up getting?
This one, I don't even know what it is because they didn't have the Sue variant, and I didn't get that $25 one. Yeah, you got the Peach from Moko, which I actually like this cover a lot. Huh?
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, I said who's surprised that I got the Peach.
Yeah, you know, right, exactly. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it.
Do it with the bottoms.
Surprise! This is Jim's pick of the week.
Jim picked the Spider-Man book? Wow.
Jim picked the Spider-Man book? What? What a hypocrite.
You hate Spider-Man now. You're
what a hypocrite, dude. You're such a
Spider-Man hater.
What are you talking about, dude? Here's the reason why I'm picking this book. Shame on you, Marvel. Shame on you. This is why I'm picking this book as my pick of the week out of spite. Okay, I didn't even pick up the John Romita Big Fist, just horrible cover, right? And I had an opportunity to because you didn't pick up your cover, and I almost got it, and I was like, no, I don't want to support this trash.
No.
Shame on you, Marvel. Okay, and I really do feel bad for Zeb Wells because his stories it seemed to be good. They seemed to be really good, you know, and this was really fun. I really enjoyed this book. And what made it even more enjoyable outside of the story was that John Romita Jr. was not on the book, right? And I was like, wow, I feel like this is how Spider-Man should be. This is great. The artwork is only amplifying the story, right? It's only amplifying how good the writing is. And, you know, if anything, it got me very angry because I will be unfortunately picking up the next Spider-Man books because we're having some massive crossover tie-ins with the X-Men, with its own fucking event coming in December. Like, there's just massive things going on with Spider-Man, but unfortunately, John Romita Jr. is still on the artwork, and I'm not. I know I sound just absolutely like he's trash. Well, he is. I'm sorry. It's just not good, and it's very unfortunate. And so the reason why this book is my pick of the week is because I am upset that we're not going to get an artist that can genuinely amplify Zeb Wells' work. And that's really frustrating. The story was good. I like the cool character. I like the Adaptoid, Sinister. I thought that was really cool. It all felt very genuine.
Yeah, I thought this was a really fun character study of Spider-Man and his rogues gallery. Just like I don't know. I think Zeb Wells showed in this book that, hey, I know pretty much everyone's voice. Like, I have a pretty damn good understanding of Spider-Man. I don't know that many people were doubting him, but I think it shows good control of the Spider-Man universe. This read way quicker than a 90-page book. I think
I agree.
Yeah, Joe said that. Really, flew through 90 plus pages. It read so fast that I'm still kind of frustrated that I had to pay $10 for this.
I don't think you can attribute how fast, at least for me. I don't want to speak for you.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it read fast. But I think it read fast for me because I was enjoying it, because I was wrapped up in the story.
For sure, I agree. I think
Sorry.
Okay, you're right. I maybe reading it fast isn't part of my complaint, but I still am frustrated that this is a $10 book.
I agree.
I just think that we have been shown by other publishers that they can. Now, if you compare this to Venom 35, the final issue of Donny Cates' run, that was also $10. Do you remember that trash shit? It was all folder. It didn't even have the. Yeah,
that's right.
The spine on it. It was literally 90 pages of bent and stapled shit.
Right. Well, let me say one thing though. Even though we did get like a fold, a square, there were pages though that I was like, this formatting. I don't know how you fix that, but there were times where I was just like, wait, and I would like have to like. Really
yeah. There's a lot of gutter loss in here.
I don't like that at all. Like and it was very frustrating because there were like key things going on in the book that I was like, wait.
That's what happens when you do
overstuff
like
bullshit.
This.
Yeah, Twinkies
is just,
filled with.
There's just one of two things. It's either like this right here. To me, this size is a useless size of print because it's impossible. It's too big to bind. And it's too small for staples. And so really, I mean, I just don't know that you should be going over 40-ish pages with staples. And then after that, I just don't know you need anything smaller than 160 pages. But this is a big rant that is not anything to do with
Well, let's just get back to the story. I think what Zeb did with Adaptoid and the Sinister Six, I thought was really cool. The slice of life stuff, which I think Spider-Man, I really like that kind of stuff, especially, and I'm one of those cheesy like romantic guys, so I love like the love triangles that we have in these books. So when Felicia was in the book Black Cat and she was kind of messing with Peter, I was like, oh, I fucking love this. Like, this is so cool. Like, I want more of it. And like currently in the story right now, we're like all this whole mystery with Mary Jane, and I'm like, yeah, but how long are we gonna string ourselves along? Like I heard another review of this book. And someone was like, the guy was like, if you didn't read the solicitations and you were hoping for this big, like, hey, we're going to get this solved and we're going to get this solved and we're going to get this solved, this isn't the book for you. And like, when I heard that, I was like, well, duh. That's what Spider-Man does in these books, or at least in the past couple runs, is you string things along. I mean, Nick Spencer was a fucking master at stringing along mysteries in his entire fucking run, where it was like, who was I don't even remember the name of the big baddie in his run.
I can't even remember. There was like two of them.
Right, and it was just like, is this who it is? Find out next time. Oh, wait, we've got 16 half issues in between. Oh, and then here's another, wait a minute, he's back. I'm like, dude, just... And so when I heard that, I was like, yeah, we're never, like... The mystery about MJ is going to be the entire run. How long it's going to be, who knows? I mean, shit, we've got an event coming in December. It's either going to get solved or it's going to go past that, and I'm sure it will. I want to read it this one quick comment just to pull it out. Eric says, LOL, JR had some good stuff years ago. Today, it may be time for it to hang up. Yeah, we did an entire, rant about it, how yes, back in the day, Marvel House style, John Romita Jr. and his dad were that was it, right?
And as I'm starting to go back and read more junior work on Spider-Man from the early 2000s, I'm starting to realize that's a rose-colored glasses thing. Yes, it looked a little bit better, but mainly because it was colored more to his style. It's not good. It's not good. Everyone's just pretending they have fond memories, nostalgia of this shit, but now going back and looking at it, I'm just like, I showed you that panel of MJ, right? And she's literally like,
like she's having a stroke.
Smiling.
Yeah.
This is a normal smile.
Yeah. No, it's not good. And then like the same thing. It's Peter or whoever it is in the panel next to him. The camera doesn't shift at all. Mm-hmm. Yet his head gets cut in half, and it's like it's bad, guys. Anyway, I did genuinely enjoy this book. I think Zeb Wells is getting a massive disservice with having Ramita on the artwork. And someone said, how long do you think he's going to stick onto it? He does work fast, and that's the thing with Amazing Spider-Man is it comes out twice a month. And I would argue, I know it'll never happen, but man, make it once a month. Put somebody on there that can actually keep up, and I think you'd sell even more books. I'm not kidding. I really do. And you could stretch the run out longer. Like it could literally like somebody could be on it for a minute, rather than, I busted out 250 books in a span of a year and a half and now I'm done. Like, wow, that's exhausting. Just I don't think there's a problem. I'm not sitting there going like, man, I need more Spider-Man. I'm like, no, man, make one good book a month and I will hit that well every month.
All right.
Should we get a chat?
You've gone on enough about your hatred for Junior.
All right, hit up chat. Just you hit up chat.
Let's see. Joe said the villain in this reminds me of what Elon Musk said in an interview about how dangerous AI can be. Yeah, I definitely see that. I like this villain though. Someone said, Stefan said, Thor would have just thrown a hammer through the living brain right away. Only Spidey would stick up for that thing.
Right, that was cool too.
I agree, and I think that was my favorite part of the story. Was just like this is very much a Spidey gives everyone second chances.
Where was that one line where I think it was Flash Thompson talking to him, to the sentient being, and he was like, "I'm gonna wipe your memory or check your memory, and it'll be quick." And he's like, "Will it hurt?" And he's like, "Yeah, pretty much. Like it's gonna fucking stay."
Oh, also, this is when Peter officially learns that Flash Thompson has been resurrected. When he's talking to them about that party, and he literally is like, "Oh, so you're alive again?" And Flash is like, "Yeah," and Peter's like, "Yeah, that's cool." Like, his reaction should have been way more than that.
Yeah.
But it was just like,
also,
okay.
Was Flash? So Flash is a double amputee. I didn't know that. I'm Flash Thompson.
Is he?
Yeah, there's when they show him a full bodied, he's got like metal legs.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Unless I didn't. Chat, let me know. Did I just like see something? But it looks like he has two silver legs.
No, that's it. Yep, I see it.
I didn't know that.
I don't know a damn thing about Flash Thompson. I know that I know he's the bully from his high school and he becomes Agent Venom or something like that. Literally the only comic I've ever read with him actually in it is the Donny Cates Venom.
Right. Tendu, if comics are costing more, shouldn't a page count get higher as well? I would pay more if I knew I was getting a good product. I do it with manga all the time.
Yeah, no, they're just going to keep lying to you and tell you that ink costs and paper costs are going up, and the cost to do business is going up, and inflation, and
Agent Venom, yeah, Joe.
Yeah. Hold on. You're skipping past Joe hurting my feelings.
What did he say?
He said, I'll spend $10 on a well-told one-shot story, then read Shadow of the Bat and get one story for $50. And Shadow of the Bat was a great story and had the best backup of the entire year, hands down in it. Totally. And it cost you $60 because it was 12 issues.
Jesus. Don't do the head swivel. Like, jeez. Okay, let's get back to it, Rich. I'm not sure. This issue was a lot of fun, but it wasn't great. The story would have been better as a story arc, or as someone else has said, maybe as an annual. I mean, it kind of feels like an annual almost. You're just telling a different story. Like, hey, this is a what if, not a what if, but just what it is. Quiku, Flash lost his legs in 2000. Okay, did not know that. That's cool. Or not. That's not cool. I mean, I get it. No. Almost stopped talking. But I'm gonna keep reading chat. Flash got killed at the end of Slot's run in 2018.
What's up, man?
I believe this is the first time he's shown up since. Well, yeah. Well, he was in Donny Cates's. He got resurrected in.
We see
Venom.
him get resurrected in Venom.
Yeah, and then he had his own. Didn't he have like a little mini? Wasn't there a mini with Flash at some point? Like right after Venom? I think there was. It was your boy. It was Philip Kennedy Johnson. He wrote
that was a Carnage thing.
I thought he was part of that story.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're just trying to make stuff up.
I'm not. I promise.
I'm not. I promise.
I promise. John Romita Jr. Daredevil issues are fire. I just read the handful yesterday. Still holds up. Okay.
I don't believe it so much that I'm literally on Marvel Unlimited right now looking.
Jesus, Nate, come on. The story was Rich. The story was shoved in there and didn't relate to the main continuity. Again, though, fun, and I liked how it was a throwback to Spider-Man books back in the day. Yeah, no, this literally is an annual. Quiku, Waylon, the military. And when he became an Agent Venom, Space Knight was Flash. Oh, okay, yeah. Quiku, 2000, not sure the exact year. Flash is currently the Savage Avengers ongoing. Oh, dang. Yeah, I've been kind of thinking about picking that up. Like I thought about it, but I might just do trade on that one. Anyway, there's Spider-Man. It's my pick of the week. It was genuinely a fun story. I thought the artwork was fantastic, and I'm genuinely sad that the next issue, which comes out in 2 weeks, will be John Romita Jr. And they're doing groundbreaking stuff, like Spidey's going to get a new suit, and it's going to be drawn by Romita, and all right.
We'll show you. Look at the chat real quick. I want to show you the very first image I saw of John Romita's Daredevil. We'll just keep this between us.
You don't want me to show it? I'm showing it right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not showing it. Like, it's all kind of jacked. Hold on.
Yeah,
okay.
You don't know.
I saw it.
Okay. What's the next book? Ant-Man?
The next book is Ant-Man. Savage Avengers is really good. All right, Joe. Yeah, I might need to check that out. Ant-Man issue number 1. Did you end up picking this up or no? Well, you did. Okay. I've had, I don't want to say I've had a hard time with Ewing. I think the only time I've ever had any kind of like, I don't know if I should have got that, was Beyonder, or Defenders, the first mini before Defenders Beyond. And then this one, like, I was like, I opened it up, and the first page I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like, this is, like, he's setting the tone, which is always, it's always abstract, or it's always like kind of jarring, like it's never like, in the year 2005, like nothing like that. Like it's always like you're just kind of thrown into it, right? And you're trying to figure out what's going on. And I think Ewing did a really good job with making the reader go, what's going on? But also this first story of Hank Pym Ant-Man also going, what's going on, with the reader, which I thought was really clever, right? So we have this future Ant-Man, because I don't think we know exactly who it is. But he's very distant future, and he's trying to evaluate different versions of Ant-Man and different people who were Ant-Man, right? And going through their stories, and he's actually traveling through time to meet them, but we don't know why, right? So we get that premise at the beginning of the book, and then we get an actual like classic Ant-Man story, like Silver Age, I gotcha, Copper, that kind of thing. Which I liked, and I liked the medium, like when you shifted from the future into the past, like even the artwork kind of changed. It was grainy, the shading was different, the coloring was different. Really dug that.
Everything was different. I mean, even the lettering was different. The way that Al Ewing was writing his prose was different. The characters and the shenanigans they get into were very
fiddlesticks,
very campy.
Yeah. So I dug the heck out of it. And, towards the end, we get the hook, which is we've recruited this Hank Pym Ant-Man, classic Ant-Man, into this future Ant-Man's mission, which we don't know what it is. So that being said, in short order, I dug the heck out of it. I've already ordered issue number 2. I'm in.
I can see this. I can respect it for its value and tell you that personally, I just don't give a shit.
Right.
And honestly, that sucks because and we kind of broached this topic or question last week. But how much do you trust an author to take you into a story of a character you don't care about? And with Al Ewing, I trusted him enough to go into an issue 1 with him, but even to me, he can't redeem an Ant-Man.
That's fine.
I don't care about Ant-Man's, if this was anyone else, if this was Daredevil, or if this was probably even Captain America, or just someone else, and diving into their rogues gallery, their 60s versions. No, if it was Hulk, I'd be out too.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Trying to think of anybody else.
I think Al Ewing is a continuity king. He is a continuity master. His ability to be able to integrate things in the past and put them in. I'm sure Ant-Man fans that know this shit, when they were reading it, were freaking the fuck out and just totally cheesing over how cool it was. I love the concept of it. I love the idea of creating a modern story, but going through, and this is because the whole point of this is it's the 60th anniversary celebration of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm not going to continue on the ride for a celebration of a character I don't give a fuck about. But
here, but let me just throw this at you again. And again, it may not sway you, and that's fine. I'm not really trying to sway you. But the other thing I like, and I got a little bit, I liked this at the beginning of the Defender run, and then I just got lost. But one thing I will give Ewing is he scratches that kind of historian itch, right? Like, we're always talking about wanting to learn more about characters, and he kind of does it where he's like, here's a story that's new, yet I'm still giving you tidbits and actual chunks of Marvel history for these certain characters where you can learn either to like them, love them even more, or say, like you said, I just don't give a fuck. And I just can't do it. And I think that's the beauty of his writing. I mean, shit, dude, he did it in his Immortal Hulk run. I mean, there were just things that I was learning as I was reading about the character, and I didn't get too lost. Now, Defenders first mini, nope. By issue 3, I was like, I'm looking crossways, and I'm really hoping he can bring it back, at the end. And he just went full send deep meta. You're not gonna figure it out if you're not in tune. But no, I dug it. Let's get here really quick. Where is it? Okay. Rich. I was bored with the whole Ant-Man book until the end. Completely forgot about the future stuff. Then I was interested again. I will pick up issue 2. Stefan, I never experienced the evil triumph villain. Damn. Triumphant, sorry. Trumpet. Sorry. I can't. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Damn, they really stuck Pym with some dud villains. Yeah, dude, those were horrendous. Like the guy that had the paralyzing spray. I was like, dude, this is so dumb. And then the aging ray and the scatting trumpet player, dude. What? Anyway, Joe, reading a Silver Age comic style is always great. It wasn't a 4-part mini. I would wait for Unlimited, but I'll write it with it. All right, cool, Joe. Well, me and you can do it together. Who throws popcorn at a movie? No shit.
Punks in the 60s.
Gotcha. Joe, we got a Scott Lang cameo. Nice touch. Quiku, this was great. Ewing did great with the way, I can't read, tonight. He managed the tone / time period and continuity stuff. All the Ant-Man appearing in the issue Scott Lang about to rob a place, letting Jan find Hank. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm interested. What I'd be really interested to see is if they tied this into anything to do with Kang. Just with this future Ant-Man and kind of time traveling here, I don't know. That's where I kind of perked up too here. I was like, maybe we'll get some Kang, maybe. Stefan, I like the art, but sometimes I feel like it's missing a narrative step with Riley's art. Same experience with the Thing mini. I didn't read the Thing mini. Didn't you try that?
I just had one issue.
One issue. Then Joe says, Ant-Man and Wasp need more love. They are the OGs, and they barely get mentioned. I mean, I think I'm right there with you, Joe. I agree. I think they're cool, but
there's a reason why we stopped.
You know why? It's because they're not cosmic. That's why Nate, they're not in space. They just do normal shit on Earth with ants and wasps.
Daredevil's one of my top guys. He has nothing to do with space.
In Jason Aaron's run, he was all he was the next. Wasn't he?
There's no Jason Aaron running Daredevil.
No, hold on. In Thor, in War of the Realms, didn't he become? Like
yeah, he becomes the what is Sif? She's
the all seer or some. I don't know what it's called. Whatever. You know what the sword.
Yeah,
thing.
That was dope as fuck. That was super cool.
All right, next up we have Star Wars Obi-Wan issue number 3. We get some Clone Wars, the beginning of the Clone Wars. We get a little bit of General Kenobi. We get some cool Commander Cody. And we get a cool dialogue about what the real purpose of Jedi are in the war, which was kind of, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I think this, I don't know, to me, as someone who has not like an Obi-Wan like stan, like he's a cool character and I like him. Before the summer of Obi-Wan started, where we literally got a TV show and a miniseries and 2 books all in the summer, but like I was like, yeah, Obi-Wan, he's a cool character, whatever. I really enjoy how much we're getting him fleshed out, and I think this particular issue shows us something that we haven't seen too much of him, and that's grief from his involvement in the war. And very much getting a look into Obi-Wan as a character. Now, my perspective of Obi-Wan is not influenced by the Clone Wars TV show. So a lot of the things I'm saying, or might say, might have already been tackled in that show years ago. But I think it's really cool. Like we're seeing Obi-Wan as like one of the main people that, like, he doesn't refer to the clones by their numbers. He gives them nicknames. He is very particularly worried about them dying in battle. And I've always like disliked the Jedi as far as like this modern version of the Jedi, to where they're these really how's the best way to describe it? Like sort of like a Hippocratic group of religious people that, religious, not actually, but like they really can't get their shit together, and they ultimately just fall apart and aren't really able to sustain themselves, like after Order 66 and stuff. And I think that like we needed more Obi-Wans. Like they probably would have done much better with people that were, for sure, that were able to gild the tight line between
probably even Qui-Gon, even though he was like the whole reason for Anakin. Like I think he may have even, as they had progressed in training, probably would have been like, whoa, wait, something's up, like there's a farce,
Yeah. But anyway, to me, Jedi are always really interesting, but they're really interesting to me because they kind of represent a paradox, especially during this era, having Jedi involved in a war. And so, yeah, like the line that Cantwell puts in here, what is a Jedi's purpose in war, I think is one of my favorite topics. We kind of see, at least from Obi-Wan's perspective, what that's about here.
I would agree. And the other thing I liked was that group of, like, I guess humanoid, I don't know what you, like, are there humans? I guess there's humans, like they're called humans in the book. Like if you're, like, you look like Obi-Wan, you're a human. Yeah?
Yes.
Like, is that a species
in
the Star Wars? Okay. So when we got the other humans that came in from the planet, and we're like, we're here to fight, and he brought them in, and when Obi-Wan is, when the day is, not unfortunately, but they win, but at a major loss, and he's just kind of sitting there like soaking up the sunrise, and the captain that joined them is like, get the fuck up, let's go back to war. Like I was like, damn, dude, like that's like we just never saw that in the movies, and I thought that was really cool just to kind of see like someone who has already been hardened by war kind of make Obi-Wan look super soft, he's not, Obi-Wan's not part of the war machine. It's very evident, like he's just thrown into it and just kind of like, all right, we're doing this now, and without real counsel. And I'd even say the movies feel like that, it's just like, and we're in war, like and we What? No, you were gonna say something?
I was just gonna say that, like, the biggest thing to me that and again, this is just this could be just a me thing, but I don't the motivation and willingness to fight in this war, and the fact that what they were fighting were non-humans is what really made apparent in here. Multiple times, like, did the new troops that came in go, oh, they're just droids, like, we're not worried about it. And Obi-Wan eventually, he's starting to despair on the bridge, and he's thinking about, he's like, what do I evacuate these
Comic
people
addiction.
that are here?
What up? We just got a new subscription. Sorry, I forgot to turn off our
I didn't
thing.
know that existed.
Yeah, well, YouTube's weird because it's on, but it doesn't count every sub that comes in. So I'm wondering if maybe Comics Addiction has his or her profile on public, and that's when it only pops up. So just,
gotcha. I'm
sorry. Continue. Thank you for the sub.
He's trying to figure out whether he needs to evacuate the people he's with now and abandon the guys on the bridge, or if he should go back for them. And ultimately, he says, like, my vows reverberated in my mind then: protect and preserve life. That is the Jedi way. And I don't know, like, there's no way that they would be involved in this war if it was even like a third of the people on the field were organic living creatures. And so I think it's very, very interesting.
No, you're good.
And,
Addiction, dude, don't apologize.
No reason.
Don't apologize. We are happy that you are here. Yeah, we are glad that you subscribed, and we are happy that you're here. Do not apologize. Rich, Nate is right on my opinion. Joe, Sam Wilson Captain America was really good. A book with Deadpool, Captain America, and Doctor Doom is always a fun mixed drink. Is Sam Wilson Captain America book, is that R.B. Silva?
I think it is.
Oh,
I'm always positive it is. I think we've had too many people telling us to read that book. I think it's about time we just
might be time. All right, Joe, coming in with the halftime question. I watch a handful of comic book YouTubers, and I've been seeing independent books getting more praise. So question is, why is independent comics better than Marvel/DC? Thank you. I think, for me, independent books are better. Or not better. No, they're better. They're better in the sense that I think it's... specifically, I think, for the creator. Now, I don't know what every publisher outside of Image, like, how they do their their rights, if you will. Like, I don't know, like, Boom may do it differently than Image or Aftershock or Vault, you know what I mean? But I think for the most part, and this is an assumption, that independents seem better because the creator kind of has more say over the story that they want to tell, right? I think that's the biggest thing. And you can drop F-bombs. You can write the word fuck. You can't do that in DC and in Marvel. Now, granted, sometimes when that happens in Marvel or DC books, it's done cleverly where you're like, I saw what you did there, right? But most of the time it's like, bat symbol, I don't get it, And I'm sure Nate will have a much, much more eloquent answer.
Why am I gonna have more?
Because you're smarter than me.
No.
Big brain.
I think that the absence of constraints, for one, are probably one of the biggest things that make independent comics more interesting. Being able to tell stories that you don't have to. I mean, it's kind of like the same argument between corporate restaurant versus independent restaurant, right? Like, you're not worried about conforming to this same technique over and over again, and you're able to do something original. And actually, I would probably say that the biggest argument for independent comics, and I think some people might disagree, but I think you're able to make more of a, I don't want to say political statement, but more of a opinionated statement in independent comics without worries of persecution from your publisher than you are in Marvel and DC. So if someone has a particular topic or matter, whether that is political in nature or not, is something that they want to use as an allegory for their story, they can do that better in independent comics, and people want to read that kind of story because people are interested in dynamic opinions. And so regardless of what side those are on, this has nothing to do with sides or not sides, but I think that a lot of people gravitate towards stories they enjoy and topics that they enjoy, and it's harder to find those nowadays in Marvel and DC because it seems like we're kind of cutting the edges off a little bit. Now, this is a very generalized statement too. I think both Marvel and DC at given times have cut books and stories and ideas and themes where they shouldn't, and then have allowed some to go further than I would have expected them to. So a lot of people would probably say that they go further than they would expect them to with all of our Pride and Voices issues that we've been getting lately. I think that's just on the mark. I think that's going exactly where we need it to, but everyone's going to have their own different opinion. And regardless of whether those are good or bad, independent comics have been doing that for decades.
And I think also, and I think you said this at the beginning, but like just the amount of creative freedom that they get, whether it is written or artistic, I think it's just genuinely, it feels good. You know, like when we read, what was it? From Image, oh dang it, the Kaiju book.
Ultra Mega?
When we read Ultra Mega, like that to me was just, you know, because just some of that stuff, like I even was like, oh, this is gross. Like there were gross things in it, but I was just totally intrigued. The coloring, the artistic view of it, and I'm sitting there going like, man, I would love to see a Marvel book like this. I don't think we ever will. And so stuff like that is just cool. Like being able to express yourself artistically where you don't have to worry about like, you know, well, does Captain America really cut people in half with a shield? Like, you know, you just don't, you know, that's just, maybe he does, but it would only be like whack, and then you just see the guy's like head going like, you know, and that would be it. So I think with I guess for me more visually, when I see that kind of stuff in, you know, independent books, it's just, there's a lot more oh shit moments, which I think is really cool. All right, let's get to chat because we've got some good stuff here from Aaron and from Tendu. Aaron says, I personally think there is a level of it being cool to praise anything that isn't mainstream, the big two. However, at the same time, the creators have more freedom, especially in image and the like. At Boom or something, they are considered independent, but they are also still owned by someone else. With Image, it is a total self-publishing creator putting it up most of the money to publish. They're only going to do that when they really believe in eat/breathe/sleep those concepts. Whereas in Marvel and DC and the like, even when they even when you care, there is a level of disconnection.
I think there's a big thing to that too. Like, you know, to a certain extent, Marvel and DC is by a lot of people still considered nerdy and still considered like out of the range of cool. And so maybe independent comics that don't deal with superheroes aren't considered as nerdy or off the mainstream. And so yeah, there are definitely certain creators or whatever, YouTubers or anything that are going to cover these more hip and cool or more with it ideas. Everybody likes a shock value, right? I think that's why like Ed Piskor's Red Room did so good, because it was like, who the fuck is putting out comics like this right now? And so yeah, I think there's definitely a certain element to that.
For sure. Tendu, Marvel and DC both make terrible political statements that usually tank their books. This is why only a handful of writers are credible, such as Tiny Onion, Zdarsky, Hickman elect. Those writers now know how to weave their ideological thoughts into the comic versus how heavy-handed a lot of these new and old writers choke their readers with JT. Gentry, Punchline is a great example of that with Tinian. Stefan, I get equally excited, if not more, from the independent stories. I love the superhero smash 'em up stories / events. I'm guilty of buying in tie-ins, but the issues of Ice Cream Man do a Powerbomb pick of the week. Do a Powerbomb, I think, is a perfect example of independent comics just kicking ass, right? And specifically for Nate, right? Like, I used to be a massive pro wrestler fan, and then I fell out of it. Like I grew up, if you will. I don't know. I'm just not into it. Like I don't know the creators anymore. Like I don't know the wrestlers anymore. And the ones that come back that I know look wrinkly and just not fun to watch. But that being said, Do a Powerbomb comes out and it's like, they ain't no fucking way I'm reading a book about pro wrestling. Then he picks up the first issue. It's freaking Daniel Warren Johnson. And he's like, God damn it, I'm picking up a book about wrestling because it hit me with the feels. And then also his artwork is just smashing good, you know? So that there's something to it. Quick, Sabretooth had some actual critique of the criminal justice system, which was surprising to see in a Big Two comic. Current Swamp Thing has criticism and excess culture, which is also very interesting.
Yeah, I see. I think that's a good example. And I mean, honestly, I think what Tadu said earlier, like, because Zdarsky was going to be one of my examples, is that this can be polarizing on both sides. It's not a one side or the other, but like a lot of times whenever we make these stories that are heavy-handed in opinions one way or the other, they tend to attract certain viewers and certain readers. I think one of the reasons why someone like Chip Zdarsky has been so popular, even in the midst of him being pretty overt with his political statements in his Marvel and DC books, he does it in an eloquent way that really fits right into the story, like he did, like his Daredevil run, especially that second half with Matt in jail.
Yeah,
sorry, that was a huge, massive critique of the criminal justice system, racism in the criminal justice system, and it all fell fluently and perfectly into his storyline. Same thing with Sabretooth, and I haven't read. I need to get back into Swamp Thing, but I think that's
Actually, it's coming to an end, so
it is. I'm just gonna just pick up the collected.
Do the trade. Jaden, my sister makes fun of me all the time when I read Marvel or DC, but the moment I read a good indie comic, put me on, she says. Gotcha. Rich, I couldn't get issue 2 of Do a Powerbomb. I've been missing a few books lately. Might have to travel to other shop to get some stuff, unfortunately. I've done that a couple times too. But Do a Powerbomb, I highly recommend going to a different store just to pick up the issue 2. That book is phenomenal. Joe, as a former wrestler that ran small wrestling shows, and you can get by with a lot more, rather if you like WWE, I'm not reading that right. As a former wrestler that ran small wrestling shows, and you can get by with a lot more, rather if you're like WWE, that you have a image to protect. I think the comic book world is similar in that.
Yeah.
Okay. Tendu, I also we live in 2022. A lot of these writers live on Twitter, which makes them, in some people's eyes, just terrible people whom they won't support. Twitter. I don't want to get into a Twitter rant.
Well, I won't get into a Twitter rant either. But when you can get so upset at a writer that you literally create a Twitter group about how you're going to
kill him,
murder a writer at
that's
a
crazy.
Comic-Con convention, like you're fucked up. Like you're super fucked up, and you need to get out of there. Like you need to get off Twitter. That's
Twitter's. I mean, it's insane. Like I just the internet in general sometimes can just get really crazy. And that's one thing. Like this is going to be a little bit of a rant, and I apologize. No, I don't. You know, I always end our shows with read more comics and be kind to one another. I think that's one of the biggest things that we can try to do. You know, we try to do here. You know, like I poo-poo on Ramita, but I'm not like, yo, your Ramita needs to be fired and never work at a day. You know, I don't say that, but like
I hope every finger in his hands is broken forever.
I hope his hands turn on fire. You're like, no, I don't say that. And I think that's one thing is like we just got to be a little mindful of that. Is just kind of at the end of the day, just be kind, right? Just be kind.
Yeah.
Seven
Rich,
Hulk.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Rich. I agree. I think Rich and I had a discussion about Obi-Wan this week because the new novel came out and it's follows a young Obi-Wan, and we learn in this book that he's bisexual, and that's it's 100% canon. That's part of what it is now. That's indisputable. We were talking about whether that was justified or whether it was just pandering, because like at a certain point you can be offensive even to the people you're trying to pander to, if you can't even make it fit in your story logically. And now it makes me want to read the book because I'm not only do I like Obi-Wan, but I'm curious to see how this plot point fits into the story.
Jaden says it perfectly. Twitter is a black hole of hooligans. I agree. And we have to combat the hooligans. Preach, Jim. Yeah, you know, I think social media, as much as like, I mean, clearly we're on it. Tend to is like, it's just, there's a fine line, and it's just like, be mindful, but also like, you know, express. It's hard. It's so hard. It's a double-edged sword. You know, it's just like, how do you I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. And I think there's a mindful way of doing it where you can have some fun, but also don't be a dick, right? Like, just don't be a dick. Like, be cool. Okay, that was awesome. Let's jump into DC, shall we?
Yeah, we're not going to hang around here long.
All right, go ahead. Tell me why I'm wrong in not picking up this book.
You're not. This issue is not going to be the one to convince you of that. Again, like, what the story we're telling here is cool. The story is fun. I do feel like we are taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. We're barely making any progress as we actually move. We get good moments in here where we get Superman being the protector of the people and saying, nope, every solution you guys have presented to me doesn't protect everyone, and we need to make sure we're the best for everyone. That's cool. We get introduced to a giant big bad somewhere in War World. I still don't even really understand where they're at, but somewhere down in War World, there's this big baddie, and so Superman's gonna have to fight him. And if he doesn't win, then everyone's gonna die and everyone's gonna lose. But I feel like we've just been doing that for 6 issues now. I will say one of the things that has made me feel like the cohesion of this book is very out of whack is that I think we're
whack.
It's starting on when they arrived onto the actual planet of Warworld. I think we're about 12 or 14 issues in.
Sheesh, dude.
I think we've had 10 different artists. And I think we've had 9 or 10 different cover artists.
Because wasn't that the big thing? Was Chichetto was going to be like... Or not Chichetto. Who was it?
Federici?
Federici. Like, remember when, like...
No, he was brought on later. He wasn't even part of the first 8. He was like on the 9th or 10th.
But remember when it was announced, we were like, "Oh, Federici," and then
because they used him as the covers, but like he wasn't.
He was in the book for like 2.
He was not the book.
Yeah. Ugh.
And you know, again, there's a really good chance that I'm just giving this book more credit than it deserves. Because of 2 things. 1, because it's Philip Kennedy Johnson and I'm a total stan. And 2, because a lot of other people are saying they're enjoying it. And I'm going, maybe I'm just missing it. At this point, I've sunk cost fallacy. I've put way too much time and money into this story that I can't back out now. I gotta keep going. Especially when you got Philip Kennedy Johnson on Twitter going, the next issue is going to have the introduction of a character that's going to be huge in my run and a total event change, and it's going to be the greatest, and you're going to want to read it. Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I got out. I got out there specifically for what you just said, which is I've invested way too much time and money that I have to keep going. And I was like, fuck this. Like, I got to a point where I was like, I can't put any more. Like, I'm going to get to that point where I'm like, no, I got to keep it up. And like, nope, I got to get out. And so that's... Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, I think I have to admit that there's, you know, a big part of me that's just on because of the sunk cost fallacy and because I'm a stand for Philip Kennedy Johnson. Right. Because I can't tell you what, I mean, literally, Superman talks to some people, I don't even remember exactly who they are. It's the kids he's looking after, and then some leaders of the underground, and then Midnighter. And they're like, we got to do these things. Okay, and then y'all go do those things. Okay, yep, we're going to go do those things, and I'm Superman. I'm going to go down there with this weird baby in a vat, and we're going to go fight some shit. That's it.
What did you just say?
That's it.
I like blanked out, and then I came back at, we're going to go fight some shit, and we found a baby in a vat. Like, what?
No, the baby in the vat's been there for like 3 issues.
I haven't been reading since, like, I don't know, forever.
Okay, well,
I do not remember a baby in a vat.
There's the baby. Like, they just carried him. He's just like in a tube of liquid, and they just carry him around everywhere.
What the fuck? All right, let's get to chat here. Rich, back on the social media. Don't say no social media what you wouldn't say to someone in real person. Tend to preach, brother. Also remember you can who you representing as well as a writer or artist, actor elect. Yep. Joe, I see some foreshadowing. I think the kids are going to get killed before this story is all done.
We've got to have a reason for Superman to be in pain.
Stefan, if Captain America battled Marjorie Taylor Greene, I would not complain. I'm right there with you.
I don't know that. I wouldn't complain either.
Quiku, World War Saga has been really fun, but it feels like the pacing was kind of accelerated when Dark Crisis started. Also, I agree the number of artists has really messed the feel up of the comic. Joe, 2 more issues and I think we get the Clark John team up or something like that, and then
it's like the return of Superman and then crossover.
What up, Empire? He is looking forward to the team up between John and Clark. I've got a question. How many of y'all are super excited about the 25th anniversary of the death of Superman, and we're going to get a bunch of side stories that tell the story, expand upon the story? Are we super excited about that?
I'm sure people are. I'm not.
Are you excited about it?
No, I've never even read the story.
Exactly. Okay.
This isn't for you. This is listen.
I know it's not for me
you at all. This is
know.
for the Peter David stands. This is for Rocket Robbie Phillips and his crew. That just, fucking 90s, man. We're in the comics from the 90s, and we love that shit. And I'm not dogging on it. Like,
you kind of sound like you were dogging on it. I mean,
I'm just there's a lot of those people who get hardcore on their 90s.
Well, I know, and it seems like DC and Marvel are just like left
for everything.
Oh my god, get over it, please.
Did you? Okay, here's a perfect example. They are doing another volume. It's Peter David specifically. It's almost like. And I don't mean this rude, but it's almost like Marvel is like, bro, this Peter David dude, he needs some money, and we got to give him work so he can make money.
Yeah.
Because, like, he just keeps getting booked of rehashes of his 90s stuff, and he's getting a volume 5 of his Hulk by Peter David. And 2/3 of volume 5 is just books that he did this year and last year. It's all of the Maestro stuff and the Spider-Man redux and all that.
Yeah, and there's a there are people, probably even people that watch our show, and then hey, cool, it's just like when we see them in solicitations, I'm like, nope, I'm no, please. But that's just me.
Baby in a jar, that's what it is.
Baby in a jar.
Yeah, it's baby in a jar, not a bat.
Okay, sorry, I can't hear you. You're not on your mic. Yeah, it was a jar.
Baby in a jar.
Yeah, you were gonna do that. Let's see, Aaron. I jumped into Action Comics on the first issue of Warworld, and I buy issue 5 or 51. Does it say 51 or 5? I couldn't take it. I love Superman. I love Philip Cody Johnson, but I also couldn't take it anymore. I'm right there with you, Aaron. Like I was like, where are we going? It just didn't. It didn't. I don't want to say it didn't feel like Superman. It just felt. It just didn't feel like World's Finest. Didn't feel like World's Finest. Joe, I call it a baby in a jar. I read. Okay, so for Death of Superman, I read the whole event and I'm excited. Dope, Joe. Let us know how it is, because I don't know. Like Nate was like, dude, something big is dropping about Superman tomorrow.
That's what they kept doing.
It's gonna be so awesome. And then
apparently
anyway, the best thing now, here's where Twitter's very enjoyable, is when DC or Marvel, which they don't have like Marvel Comics or at Marvel Comics, they just have Marvel, right? And same thing with DC, it's just like at DC on Twitter. So when they announce like a comic book specific project, they don't go like, by the way, this is just a comic book, right? Like they just show Superman's logo in blood, and half of the retweets on that specific tweet from DC was like, is Harvey, what's his name? The guy that was playing Superman in the Snyderverse, Henry Cavill coming back? Oh my god, if he's coming back in the movies, oh yeah, blah, 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 right? And all these people which were misinterpreting the fact that it was the comic book, and then there'd be people that would be like, 100% sure this is a comic, 100% sure, and just people getting pissed back and forth, I thought was hilarious. Anyway, Rich, I bought the Death of Superman off the shelf back in the day, and I don't care about these extra stories. I mean, some people are, some people aren't. I'm not in it. Stefan, I'd prefer ongoing character development over retro cash grabs. The Wolverine patch, Gambit, X Legends, Venom, and Lethal Protector is not for me. Yeah, we have not picked those up. I don't care about the 30th anniversary. Also, it's 30. Did I misspeak?
Yeah.
Sorry. 5 years. What's 5 years? Also, you know what's going to be a $10 book. Yeah.
Right.
Joe, I think we get a lot of nostalgic content is because of the type of YouTubers that is very vocal with today's content being sucks and want their era back. I understand that. And again, what's frustrating for me is when half of the solicitation is throwback comics. That's what gets it for me. Like, okay, we're going to do 6 different throwback books and we're cutting, or these books are taking a break because of paper issues. Like, no, don't make 6 throwback books. Make 2 or 3. Don't, slow down a little bit. That, in my opinion. Could be wrong. Stefan, Absolute Carnage was new and familiar, and that's how to do nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, that's a way to do it, for sure. All right, let's move on. To Ram V's debut as Detective Comics' new author, 1062. I genuinely like the story and where we're going and the mystery that we're building up here.
Hold on. Did you read the backup?
I genuinely liked the story and how it was the mystery up here. Nate,
I'll come back when you read the backup.
Okay, all right. Then you do the review and I'll read it right now.
I just don't understand. It's Cy Spurrier. Why are you not reading the backup?
Do you know why I didn't read it?
Because I kept bugging you about it?
No, not at all. No. But when I didn't read it for this specific reason, in my brain, I was like, Nate is going to get so fucking pissed that I'm not reading the backup. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Shit. Right, because the backup is what, 8 pages? Back to front?
Yeah.
So what I like to do on Wednesdays before I hit the shop is I like to watch other reviewers and just see, how they thought about it. I don't usually read spoilery reviewers. I just watch guys that are like, hey, it's a good book, it's not a good book, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And Robbie said that this would have been his would have been another version of his pick of the week if he had to pick 2 books. I can't remember what what his first book was. And he was talking about it, and he's like, it's a good story, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes like, and the backup is really good. It's rather dense and very thick in words. And I was like, I'm out. I'm not reading it. I'm not. So Wednesday, I hadn't even picked up the book. I was like, I'm not reading it.
So in by that argument, because words are just as important to the comics as the pictures. Is there a book out there where you just go, oh, God damn it, there's too many pictures in this fucking comic book. Can't read it. What? Sorry, bud. Too many pictures. Did you go? They have 6 different colors in here. Can you believe it? No, can't do it, bro.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? Yes. Comics have words in them. Sometimes you have to read.
Oh, God.
You are literally a college graduate. You can read words. Oh my God.
I can read words. Jaden says, I don't blame you, Jim. I hate wordy comics.
I don't know Jaden's personal background. I know yours, and you.
I'm not alone.
Fucking books.
Listen, okay. After the show, I will read it. Okay, I promise you. I do. I promise you. I will read it, and I'll read it from now on.
I was not. I think this was a good issue.
It is a good issue.
I think the Ron V is a good issue.
I
was not as intrigued as I was.
But why? But why? Tell me why.
What did Ron V do that any other authors or writers first? There wasn't anything extra. There wasn't anything oomph. There wasn't anything that was like, fuck yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I read this book on Thursday or Friday, and today when I was going through my books and just refreshing, I was like, what the fuck is that about? I had to reread the whole thing again because I couldn't remember one piece of it. I remembered every single image and word and perfection of the Cy Spurrier backup. I didn't remember a goddamn thing about the Ron V story. And regardless of what that is, to me, I have to give it a knock. I have to knock it down a little bit because of that.
I agree with you. I thought overall, I was like, okay, this is the direction we're going. But at the end of it, I was like, I'm right there with you. I was like, wait,
Jaden, that's not true. I don't believe that for a second.
I was sitting there going like, wait, what happened? Right? Like, it didn't. There were a lot of. I mean, there was a new thing that was like presented to us, which is great. But yeah, it didn't. It just didn't have that smash. Like, whoa, first issue in, here we go. Like, going in a new direction, right? It just was kind of like. And I will also say this: I wasn't the biggest fan of the artwork either, even though it's done really well. Really? I just wasn't. I just didn't gravitate towards it. And maybe obviously, I'm going to continue to read, but it didn't. I don't know. I guess, again, spoiled. We still have Jorge Jimenez on the current Batman run, and for some reason, it's just like, God, that looks great. And then with Moray on World's Finest, it's just like there's just an expectation when it comes to artwork that, like it's gotta pop. It's gotta be detail oriented. Now, the demon bat in the book, I was like, ooh, that's some vibrato there. That's pretty cool. But other than that, I just didn't. I thought Bruce kind of looked like a caveman. I don't know. It just didn't. His
head was very wide.
Yeah, big forehead.
There was a lot that worked in this book, though, right? Like the banter between Bruce and Dick was great.
Yeah.
I think the beginning part where Bruce is like literally timing himself. Okay, this should take me 18 seconds to be able to go from here to here. Good. Oh shit, 22. Like I'm slowing down. Like, Maybe it's too early to already be bringing Talia back into a story. We literally just finished the war between her and Punchline, or not Punchline. What's his name? Deathstroke. But now, all of that being said, the very, very ending is what brought me back around on the issue, and that was introducing a horror-like element into things.
Yeah,
Batman, since year one in the 80s, has been primarily a dark comic book, but I love it when it goes horror. And so if we're gonna get in, and you look at Ron V finishing up Swamp Thing, that was very much like a horror-esque book. If he brings those elements to here, I would be very happy with that.
Gentry, I'm going to get to your comments about Doctor Strange in 2 seconds. I just want to read the rest of the chat, but we will address that. Rich, I knew the answer to that question when it comes to me reading the backup. Gentry, the book was awesome, good food, in my opinion. Backup was especially awesome, too. Best DC backup I've read so far. It's not even close for me. Jaden's with me, I know that. Joe, this issue was really good, the concept in motion, but the main thing I took from this issue was the introduction of Ram V's style of storytelling. No doubt. Jaden, you are smart. Don't let Nate bully you. Stefan, do you read the X data pages, words, and graphs for days? At the beginning of the Hickman era, I did, right? Mm-hmm. And then the minute Hickman came off, there was definitely, I think you've said this before too, Nate, where there are certain data pages that pop up that just, it's literally like, I do not want to draw this page, so I'm just going to write a paragraph. And it's literally reading. Ones. Yeah, and so sometimes I'm like, nope, I'm not reading that. I'm going to watch Comic Book Herald, and he's going to explain it to me because I'm not reading it. Like, there are just, sometimes that happens with X-Books these days.
Horror.
Horror?
Not horror.
Horror? What? Wait, what did you say?
Horror.
I'm kidding. I know what you said.
Horror.
Joe says, read Carnage to get a good Ram V story. Carnage is my favorite symbiote ongoing, from Stefan. Jaden, I have the worst ADHD, Nate, and if it's too wordy, my mind just goes. I'm kind of in the same. I don't think I have ADHD, but I'm in the same boat in the sense like it's got to go. It's got to be fluid to where I'm like, okay, cool. Gentry, the issue felt very slow, burned, detective-y to me, and I've been craving that for a Bat book. Can see why it wouldn't work for everyone, though. I mean, it had its hook.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not. Trust me, not going anywhere on this book.
Joe, dude, I'm reading the Grant Morrison Volume 1 of Batman. I was flying through it till I got to the clown at midnight or something, and it's a full-on damn book. Really took me out of the flow.
I will go ahead and tell you right now, Joe, I agree with you. I got to that and was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was pretty rough. I literally set the book down for like days and then was like, okay, now I know this is here. Now I will go and read it. And it was good, but that you're right. That is a little different. We're going 40 pages of words as much as a novel. That does get a little different because it's not what your mindset is. But
right.
Yeah, not 8 pages of a backup.
Tendu, is it me? But should both Marvel and DC have a set number of main books with top tier talent and the underbelly of new blood and new writers? It just seems like anyone can get on any book. I would use Silva, Pepe, and or how do I say that? How do you say that? Shishido? Shido. Okay, I don't know, dude. I was about to say Cheeto. Yeah, I don't know why. I would make an entire age of their art alone. Well, I think I think we both kind of said like, it seems like the Pepe Silva has started like the new house style, with Judgment Day. That artwork kind of being similar. So,
hey, let's talk about the backup.
Okay, hold on.
What?
The rich thing. Well, no, I was gonna read that he thought you said.
Yes, we already got past that though.
Okay, talk about the backup then. Jeez.
So the backup I really enjoyed. There's not much to go into. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
The backup is basically picking up on where it's picking up with Gordon after the Joker. Like after he has the Joker book, it's picking up with Gordon. He's back in the city now. He's retired. He literally has nothing going on, and it just is this really awesome 80s noir feel to it. And Danny does the art. She's done a few other horror books, including the Lolo Woods, which was that Joe Hill Hill House comics book that we covered back in the day. And so it very much fit into the horror aspect that was into this book. I think Cy Spurrier can be very verbose sometimes, and that can be unappealing. But just like The Rush, I feel like this is a great example of when it works. Because even though it was 8 pages, I felt like I got just as much substance out of this issue as I did the 21 pages of the Ron V. Batman story.
Okay.
Not that one is better than the other, but I just felt like I got as much substance out of the backup as I did the main story.
All right, getting to what Gentry said earlier, which is completely off topic, but did y'all see there is a Trad Moore Doctor Strange mini starting in November? I did, and I've already subbed to it.
Yeah. Trad Moore is very nice.
Very nice.
And again, here's a perfect example of when a creator will drag me into a character I don't super care about. I'm not a big Strange fan. I don't really do the magic in general in comic books. The magical side of Marvel doesn't interest me that much, but Trad Moore interests me very much. So, yes.
Patty, get on that dance floor, dude. Stay at that wedding. Let's go. But thank you for popping in. We appreciate it. All right, next up we have Robin, issue number 16. Kind of a gotcha issue, right? Didn't see that coming. Who's this guy again? What's the name of this guy? Dr. Death or something like that?
Yeah, Dead Man or
Dead Man.
Skull Face. Or I don't know.
He's throwing a 1-2, right? He's bait and switch. He's read the book of Sun Tzu, Art of War, and he lays a trap, and he's essentially this issue basically confirms that he's deeply in love with Damien's great grandmother, who is an old nasty baddie, and he's taking over the island because it's a skull.
Yep, there it is. That is the whole issue, and it was a great issue.
It was a great issue, but I mean that's what it was. That's what this issue was. I dug it, and again, I will say it. This is the penultimate issue, right? And I'm pissed that it's ending.
That sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I love this version of Damian Wayne. I'm not super familiar with him, and what exposure I have to him, he's very much snot-nosed, bratty, shitty, and I don't like that. And of course, characters have to grow, and I like the growth that we're getting here for sure. I really hope Damian fits in somewhere. I don't know who's going to pick him up. I don't know where it's going to go, but Damian not having a book each month is, to me, it's going to be obvious pretty soon.
When the reboot happens, Damian will be the new Batman. It's great.
I will hate that very much. I would much rather it be Dick, but
I know.
We already did that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some Boom books. House of Slaughter 7. Give me a quick recap. Was it good?
No, it was not good.
Oh, no.
Hold on. I want to catch up on...
Okay, go get check.
Hindu said a Gordon book where he sees and discovers new routes for Batman and Superman. Huh? Like new... What?
Oh, what?
Tell me what you meant. Joe said, I see Patty's able to jump in during spook break.
Yeah, man, it's okay.
Oh, a book where he is investigating cases or unsolved ones and starts unearthing new rogues. Yes, not routes, rogues. I very much love that idea. Grayson said, I respect Spurrier, but I think he's a tad overrated. Though. But no, Spurrier can miss, and when Spurrier misses, it doesn't really like... It's not like, oh man, this is weird. It's like the mind-shattering irritation because you're like, it could have been good. It was this close, but it's horrible.
X.
Yeah.
Way of X.
So no, I totally... Yes, Comic Addiction it was. Lord Deathman. What a great name. Can't wait for the Tradmore Strange. Guess.
It's gonna be dope.
Gentry said, calling it now. It'll be the week every week. Yeah, that's...
Lord Deathman. I think you're right, comic.
It is. Lord Deathman. What a great name. My pick of the week after reading it, as much as I was hyped after reading it, it's also bummed because Ryan's coming.
Yeah, man, it sucks.
Me too. Another Super Sons book would be fun. It would be John and Damian again, just older. I think that would be really cool too. I bet Damian gets married.
Whoa.
Yeah, probably.
Damn.
Okay, we're caught up. House of Slaughter. What the fuck? I couldn't tell you one thing that this book is about. So we've been on. Everybody got their shit mixed up, and we missed a month and a half on this book, and it clearly shows that eventually Boom just said, "Send it in. We're fucking done. Give us the book." And Tinian just said, "Hey, let's ship it to him like this." And I don't know what is happening in this book. I took my time. I got halfway through this book, and I said, I'm not understanding. I'm confused. I'm out of the way. This is weird. I closed the book. I put it down. I picked it up the next day as my first book of the day. I still don't know. I don't know. Now, there is one personal grievance that I have at this. I love horror. I like body horror. I don't get grossed out very easily, but there's one thing that I don't do and that you're just going to lose me on 100%, and that's maggots. You put maggots in, fuck you, I'm out. I'm not interested. There's a lot of maggots in this book.
Wow.
So I'm out. I'm not interested.
Not a maggot guy, huh?
No, not into maggots. Especially when you get like them pouring out of people like this.
Okay.
And you want to like it's coming out of their nose. It's coming out of their eyes. Jim, I'm trying to show you here. It's coming out of their nose. I don't want to look.
That's why I'm looking over here.
So, the first part of this is the second part of this story where the Scarlet Mask, he's the historian guy, right? He goes to the island. They kick him off because they're like, "Yo, hey man, there's like someone over here fucking with these kids' eyeballs. We don't know who you are. Get off the island." And so he's on his boat off the shore a little bit, saying, "All right, I gotta wait till it gets dark, and I gotta go back on the island." Well, his monster, you know how they each have monsters in a little toy or something like that? His is in a pen, and it just kind of floats there and is talking shit to him. And it's like, "Yo, tell me a sad story." And so he tells him a story about this woman who drowns in her home waiting for her husband to get home, and all her 7 kids die, and don't understand why. Has literally no relevance to anything at all. And that's most of the story. That's where we get the maggots. And then he starts going on about dragons and monsters, and the guy's like, "Oh, well, you can." At one point, he's like, "You can see Ursa Major," and people were seeing a bear in the sky. I wonder if by them thinking it was there, it literally put a bear in the sky, just like how we manifest monsters. And I was like, "Wait, am I reading this or am I reading Department of Truth?" I'm confused. We're
getting one of those again.
We're getting really close on that again.
Oh shit!
And then he's like, "Oh no, it's a monster." And then we get this really cool panel where it's like a ship, and it looks like there's a big black hole under him, and you're like, "Okay, like what's going on here?" And then they just kind of chat some more, and that's it. Please,
cool.
someone that read this, tell me what I missed, Like I love the Something Is Killing the Children series. I love the first arc of this, the first 5 issues. I love the first issue of this arc. What the fuck is this book? I'm
Cash grab.
serious. I
Cash
don't
grab.
understand.
It's cash grab.
It's for sure cash grab. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the other book that you know, the one that's better, which is Something's Killing the Children, issue number 25.
Beautiful book. Thick of the week. I love the direction that we are taking this book. So, in a lot of ways, they're really nailing, like, Tinian is really driving the point home of how fucked up this woman is that's coming for Erica. Like,
oh yeah, I got that 1 in 50, that $50 variant.
Oh yeah, totally. She is basically trying to track her down. She ends up finding the guy. His name's like Big Greg or something like that. The guy that's been helping Erica, even though he's not supposed to. She ends up finding him and has him tied up and is torturing him. Calls Erica and is like, "Yo, got Big Greg here," and slices his throat. And Erica's like, "Ah, fuck, what's going on?" But we're finally getting a little bit more. Not introduction, but a little bit more. The girl that witnessed the murder of her family is getting a little bit more involved, and I like the polar opposites because these kids are essentially foils to Erica, really more than anything. And so you got the boy of the first that was very timid and like, "Oh shit, this is my fault. Like, I need to help, and I have honor, but I'm scared." And this girl's just like, "What the fuck? Like, what is this shit? I hate everything. I'm mad." Hey, by the way, she calls the lady up that's supposed to be watching her after her family dies. Is like, "Hey, I might be going crazy, so I thought should tell you something, but this octopus stuffed toy is telling me where the monster is that killed my family and is showing me so I can go there and kill it, or at least see what it is, because I'm really pissed about it, and that's where I'm going now." And the lady's like, "Yo, what?"
Exactly.
Toy? And Erica's like, "Octopus toy, oh shit." There's a really awesome fight sequence in this. It's an extended issue too. This is a little bit of a celebratory 25th issue. But this is how we just got more story. Like, there was no bonus backups or design covers or anything like that. We just got a good chunky story. Which is really great. Oh, hold on, there's my kiddo.
Hold on, kiddo's going to bed. Let's get to chat. Where are we at here? Another. Somehow I ended up body bag. Also, Stefan got the body bag variant for the slaughterhouse, which is, I don't even want to know. Joe, if you guys are into documentaries, go watch the HBO documentary on the Milestones Media fighting to get into comics as an all-black creator company. Really good, and is down. The downfall is sad. Oh, the downfall is sad of Milestone. Yeah, I think it was Lee when they were at the old shop. We talked about that a little bit, and then same with Ron. We talked about milestones and how aren't they reinstating it? Isn't DC like getting that back into it? 7 great pick of the week. I can wait until Erica faces off with the other Black Masks. Comic Gabe's a great character, and I hope she continues to be a part of this series after this arc. Calvin, yo, sorry I missed the show. I work late now. No, hey, Calvin, no big deal. Glad we're here. You're here, and always, you can watch it as a previous episode. They obviously stay up on YouTube, but we are glad that you are here, Calvin. No worries. Do not need to apologize. We're just glad you're here.
Okay, let me catch up. Stefan said, "Great pick." Oh, thanks. I cannot wait until the Erica faces off with the other Black Masks. Great. Forgetting her name. Gabby is a great character. And I super agree. I hope she stays as a character part of this arc, because I think Erica needs like a little protege or something to follow her, and I think Gabby is in many ways a miniature version of Erica, and so I think they would work well together, and I think that would make for fun stories. I don't know. Maybe just Tinian was spending all of his time on this book and just said "fuck it" on House of Slaughter.
Probably.
I don't know what happened there, but this book was really good. There was one more thing I was going to say, and I don't. I don't know, but
okay.
I think it's really interesting that a book that is that really much started as the bad guy, the antagonist, the thing that we're afraid of are these monsters that are very real, that are being created by kids. They don't know how to stop it. That's a very scary thing. And like now, the most scariest thing in this book is not the monsters. It's this weird, freaky lady from Eastern Europe coming to kill Erica. Like that's the thing that's the scariest. So I think that's really cool. This continues to be the best book of all comics on the shelf. Nothing beats it.
Yo. All right, let's move on to issue 2 of Chip Zdarsky's Public Domain. Great color commentary of, what's going on in comics, whether it's movies, creators, like we were talking about, independent comics, that whole shtick. Even how fans relate and or treat creators also in here. I really dig it. I just didn't know what to expect with Public Domain, and I'm glad I'm picking it up. Lee, thank you. I know you're not here, but if you're watching this as a past episode, yeah, this was, I'm glad that you told me to pick this book up, essentially. And it's just fun to kind of see, it's a commentary from Zdarsky on the current status of the industry and how it treats its creators, and some creators just kind of want to live in the moment and not really deal with it, and then having their family basically say like, yo, fight for your shit, fight for the work that you worked on, be proud of it, treat it, fight for your work, fight for your family. And that's kind of what we get in this issue.
Well, and see, that's the part that stuck out to me the most is when the artist is laying in bed and he goes and climbs in bed with his wife, and she's been giving him the cold shoulder all day, and he's basically like, yo, if we fighting, let's do this thing, like what's going on? And she's like, basically like, you're a coward, like you don't stand up for shit, you let people walk over you, like you don't, you've just done the job with your job, and you've just done the job with your children, and you're not paying attention, and you need to fucking fight for something because this is bullshit. Right. And like, I don't know, that was more of, I wasn't expecting it to go there. I thought we were going to stay focused on the comic books thing, but like now this is like starting to delve into a character study of this guy as well. And so this is a fantastic book. Again, this is a perfect example of what independent comics can do, that you could never put something out like this on Marvel or DC, regardless of whether it has to do with superheroes or not. We're critiquing the comic book industry. We're literally talking about Marvel and DC here. Like, there's no qualms about it. I mean, this dude's basically like a mirror, not a mirror version, but a very similar version of Jack Kirby. Like, the dude just got fucked over in his royalties in so many different ways, worked his life away. I'm sure he enjoyed it, but also like, he missed out on a lot of credit too. So
for sure. And then Joe says, I don't know how to take his son, or how to take his son. Is he just wanting money, or does he have his dad's good intentions in mind?
Well, there's something wrong with the son.
Yeah, I don't think
son fucked up.
Yeah, he fucked up with something. I think he either got into like some gambling, or he owes the mob some money, or who knows. But I also think he's genuine in the sense that he's yearning for his father's love and attention, and he just didn't get it when he was a kid, and so he wants that.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I actually don't like that part of the book. It's the very, very last part where basically he keeps telling his kid, he's like, yo, you're fighting for this harder than I feel like you should be. Like, what's going on? And he's like, no, I'm good. And he's like, no, I don't believe you. You're not good. And he's like, okay, fine. Yeah, actually, I fucked up. Like, I messed up big this time. I'm in deep trouble, and I don't know what to do. And it's only then that it feels like his dad finally says, all right, we're gonna fight it. Let's do this. And it feels like he still didn't make the decision. His wife just chewed his ass and was like, yo, fight for something. And he still couldn't be the one to make the decision. It had to be his son,
son.
eventually breaking down and having a problem. And, that's kind of tough.
Joe also says, I can see this book getting picked up by a streaming company. I like Amazon. I could totally see Amazon picking this up. Just because they don't do comics. Going back to the Milestones thing. So they came back in 2020. Ginger says, Milestones hit so many unfortunate roadblocks recently. Read up on the 2016-ish copyright lawsuit that majorly delayed the relaunch. Interesting. I need to watch that documentary on HBO. All right, our last book of the night is Radiant Black, issue number 16. You tell me.
I don't know. I feel pretty much about the same about this book as we did the last issue. It's like I think I'm to the point where I feel like I'm at a sunk cost fallacy on this one too. I feel like I've gone 16 issues in, and I'm like, I guess I just have to keep reading it. And then until the very end.
Mm-hmm. Which is
the very end, I was like,
which is what we've been really like asking for 16 issues, or let's say 13 issues. So, I mean, we don't quite know, but it looks like, Marshall gets his ass beat by this little rogues gallery of characters, and to the point where like he gets knocked out unconscious, maybe even dead. I'm not sure. And at the end of it, a new Radiant Black shows up, and we're all kind of presuming it's Nathan. That he has finally gotten the suit back. And yeah, that last panel for me was like, oh shit, here we go. And the question remains. The question is to be asked is, do we get a mini civil war between Nathan and if Marshall wakes up, right? Does Marshall turn into a bad guy? Does he get pissed off at Nathan for taking the suit back? Because we know it's coming. There's this tension that has been building since Nathan came back out of a coma, right? And so to me, that's what's stringing me along now. Like, okay, here we go. And so hopefully, we really didn't get too much of it in this issue, but we've said it before. Higgins kind of like just drops these info dumps of their relationship, and like to the point where like I get what I need in the first part of the dialogue of that, and then the rest of the build is just kind of like nonsense that I don't really care about. And we got just the meat in our character development in this book. So I'm hoping that now that what looks like massive, or as what looks like as Nathan is the new Radiant Black, might spur on this kind of internal argument or fighting. Let's go. And then the thing is, can we get back to space, please? Can we just...
Yeah, getting the little glimpse of the robot being like, yo, don't be afraid of dying, you're part of existence. And it's like, what the fuck does all this mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm intrigued, but like, I want half of the book at least this shit. Or honestly, let's do some weird space shit.
And we saw it. Like, we saw like a space armada with... it was so cool. Like, we're right there, guys. And I like, if I just don't turn into an Action Comics situation, or I will jump. Just saying it right now. Gentry, 2-part question. 1, are y'all pulling the new Massiverse book Dead Lucky? I am picking it up. I think Nate is too.
First issue at least.
2, do you think that going forward the Massiverse is going to hold up or implode? Currently, I believe it is imploding because we're waiting so long, where there's just so much like, oh, and here's a new character. Oh, here's another new character. Oh, and I felt like, for me, now I know Nate is different, but when the first Supermassive book came out, I was like, this is sick. Like, let's go. I'm so stoked. And now it's kind of, I feel like it hasn't imploded. It's flamed out. Like, I feel like that excitement that Supermassive had has completely flamed out, and we need it to revitalize. Radiant Black needs to get back to the space stuff, give me spaceships, give me massive space battles and more Power Rangers, and give me the guy that had the sword that the robot took care of. Like, I want more of that stuff. I want more meta in there. I don't care. I'm done. We know who Marshall and Nathan are. We know that they're going to end up butting heads. Okay, we got it. let's get to space. Let's start fighting some fucking Zords. Same thing with the rest of the Massive verse. So I hope that was a good answer. Rich, I'm hoping that Radiant splits and they both become Radiant on their own. I think Marshall's going to become an anti-hero. I think that's where we're like, he's going to have a damaged black hole core. He's like, just go after Nathan, which would be dope. Joe, as much as the cliffhangers are great, but I can't stand the 95% of the issue is dull, but then you get to a jaw-dropping moment to lead you into the next issue. It's a dirty move, but it works. I kind of agree. Do you think, Stefan, Kate's and Segment book will pull a surprise connect to the Massiverse? No.
I feel like we would know it by now if it did, but that would be awesome.
That would be cool. Also, I am picking that book up, and also, I'm worried. This has nothing to do with Massive or Radiant Black or Supermassive, but I am genuinely worried. This might be out of line. I don't care. I'm genuinely worried for Johnny Cates. His books have been pushed back for months now. I know he put out on social that like he wasn't doing well, and he needed people like his friends to like get a hold of him and like kind of get him through some writer block and some other things. And like I genuinely hope he comes back stronger than ever, because I've been missing some Johnny Cates, to be honest with you. Like, we don't got crossover, we don't got Hulk, we don't have Thor. He's just kind of missing right now. So, I was kind of looking at my solicitations, like what was coming up and what my pulls, and I was like, oh my god, like he's just non-existent, and that really sucks because Donnie was one of the big reasons outside of Hickman's X-Men that really catapulted me, at least, into this what we're doing now that we've been doing for 2 years. So I'm hoping Kate's I hope he comes back strong. Yeah. Joe, speaking of Kate's, when you finish, when are you finishing Banner of War? Damn, I want to read how it ends. I agree. It's coming. It's not coming until September, I think so too.
Either August or September. It's been delayed.
It's out. It's been pushed for a minute. So yeah, let's all push some positive vibes towards the Donny Cates. Hopefully he's doing well and he's getting back on the track. So it's just what it is. What the get out of here. I'm gonna ban Jaden. We need to ban this thing. Whoever this is, get out of here. Remove, and we're going to ban you.
You don't want to look at the best adult dating site?
No, I don't want any of that shit.
Oh my.
That was random. Always rooting for kids. Yes, Stefan. All right, well, that was fun. Anyway, that is going to do it for issue number 98 / episode 98 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. Guys, don't forget what the gauntlet that I threw down at the beginning of this show. If we hit 700... No, wait. If we hit 750. So if we hit 750 subscribers, obviously we're giving away this bad boy, right? We have already set that precedent when we hit 750 subscribers, no matter what, whenever we hit it, we're giving away this. But if we can hit 750 subscribers in 2 weeks, our 100th episode, I said, and I still say we're going to do it, I am giving away the Something's Killing the Children book number 1 hardcover. I will be giving this away if we can hit 750 subscribers by our 100th episode, which is in 2 weeks. Okay? So make sure to, share this show out, get people to subscribe, get everybody to get on board. We love our community. We want to keep growing it bigger. Obviously, we want to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2022. And I know we can do it, guys. We've been doing it. And y'all have been killing it, guys. And we love every single one of y'all being here, participating in chat live. Anybody that's watching it as a past episode, we love the fact that you're supporting us and watching us, whether it's you listening to us on your drive to work or you're at work and you're listening to it in your headphones. We dig you and we appreciate you. As always, guys, read more comics. We're going to have a new Comic Book Day video out this Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we'll be back at it again live here Sunday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time for episode 99 or issue 99. So, guys, it's been crazy. The fact that we're about to hit 100 episodes or issues, that's crazy. So,
cool. Take
care, everybody. Hold on, let me see here. What are we? A chatbot? Y'all are in big leagues now. Whoa, maybe we have. Maybe we've hit the bigs. Now, your firstborn. That's funny. I wonder if Love Chats has some hot X-Men takes. Maybe they do, but they are no longer part of this. Didn't
even give them a chance.
Didn't even give them a chance. You know. Comics. Damn, my mom found out how YouTube works.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're gonna sign off, but we again appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, even if we have some stupid takes. But hey, man, we're just glad you're here. So we'll catch you guys next Sunday, obviously on Wednesday or Tuesday for New Comic Book Day. But I'm gonna end it because like I don't know how to end.
You just keep going. No.
Just keep going, even through the outro.
I'm saying you keep going. That's...
Oh, you want me to? No, you don't want me to keep going.
I'm saying that's what you're doing it. You're just.
You're breaking up. I think it's time to go.
Oh my God.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.